Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode here on African Confessions. The following confession that you're going to be listening to, your strange things indeed, they do happen in this world. It reads like this. Hello, Brother Nashi, how are you? Please, if you share this, do not show my face to anyone as I have not locked my profile here on Facebook, and I'll be grateful if you give me a link since I spend most of my time on Facebook as well as listening to your programs on YouTube when I am at work. I am 31 years old. I am living in Randburg. I work in a certain government department. I am a woman who used to have like everything, a good job that I do have, and staying in a beautiful apartment. Even though I still have that good job, but there are people at work that just hate me for no reason at all. I do not want to do any dangerous prayers to them, for I know that wherever that they are getting the ideas from, these ideas, they are not coming from a nice place. These ideas, they are coming straight from a demonic place because of the things that I did. I invited demons into my life, and for people to do evil to you, you would have invited demons into your life. I want people to know that this is the concept of spiritualism. When someone is bewitching you, you would have invited or opened up a door so that the demons can come into your life and take you as a prisoner. I am a prisoner right now. I'm writing this because I want to warn other people out there. Don't just follow trends either on TikTok, Facebook, or on YouTube, especially if it has something to do with your spirit. Be careful at all the times. My story, it was in the year 2020 during the first heavy lockdown. I was stuck in my flat. And since I was stuck, really doing nothing, I started spending like an unhealthy amount of time on YouTube, up to 15 hours a day on YouTube. It started with conspiracy theories, if you know about them, Brother Nashim, until I fell into a rabbit hole. It started like so simple. I would be listening to American pastors. Most of them, they dive deep into like theories whereby there is like another government that is running things behind, and the COVID was like a disease that had been created. So I fell into that rabbit hole, and I ended up following other people that were into Western occultism and New Age gurus. These people, I saw them as beautiful women, usually your white women, that were teaching all about New Age religion. And in order for you to access the higher power, you had to access your inner power. And the reason as to why we always feel empty, it is because your third eye would be closed. Once your third eye is opened up, then you will be able to witness things as they are happening in the spiritual realm. Just like one of the teacher was saying that you just need to open up the veil, for there is a thin veil that separates this world and another world that we cannot see. So I was like, I want to witness the things of the spirit. We all want to know what is going on in the next spiritual world. So that was what I started to do. They made it sound like it was something that was simple, something that is not demonic, something that is clean, like you are just treating your soul like a spa treatment for your soul. So they promised that you will start to manifest once you have ascended into the heavens. They said that if you opened up your third eye, you could see the future. You would be able to talk with angels. The part of talking to angels, it was something that I wanted to experience, just to be in the glory of an angel as we are speaking. And I can ask a lot of things about the universe that we all want to know, where we go to after we would have died. As an orphan, I want you to understand the place where I was, because I never knew my mom, never knew my dad, because my mom, she died when I was being born, and my father died of a heart attack soon after that. The story that I heard from one of my father's relative when I was all grown up, they said that they could not visit me when I was young because my grandmother hated them and she had shouted at my father at the time of him grieving that he had killed his wife, who was my mother, and he had a heart attack and he passed away. So I just wanted to know where my parents were, if they were looking down upon me, and I wanted to command the universe to give me money. Okay, that part, I was bored, I was lonely, and one thing was that I was unable to find like real love. Guys only dated me because I was someone that was financially stable. So I wanted to have a man that has money, and I wanted something that I did not know was going to harm me spiritually. So I opened the door, and you should never make the mistake of opening a spiritual door for fun, because when you have opened that door, many demons will be waiting to enter into that dome. And once demons have entered into your soul, it will be hard for you to be delivered from the chains of the wicked one. I found this one video, it had millions of views. So this guy, he was a white guy, but a spiritual master. He had a nice soft voice. When I would plug my earphones and listen to him, I'll just drift off and fall fast asleep. So as he would be going on and on his like teaching podcast, I would start to see the things that he would be talking about. Like it was something that was magical. When I looked into the comment section, the people in the comment section as well, they were saying the same thing, that when they drift off, when they go to bed listening to his programs, they start to have dreams and they see in real time the things that you'll be talking about. He was saying that in order for you to activate your third eye, you were supposed to sit in total darkness for about 21 days. You must listen to certain type of frequencies and beats that I used to listen to focus all of your energy on the space between your eyebrows until it burned. I would follow every instruction. I followed it each and every day, every night. I even ordered some like those curtains that block the sunlight, blacking out even my windows with cardboard, then putting those sun blocking curtains so that the room can be totally dark, because there were days when I would get so excited I could not wait until it was in the evening. I'm someone that is not afraid so easily, so I would sit until 3 a.m. wearing my headphones, letting those high-pitched sounds drill into my brain. I started doing breath work that made me to feel light-headed and a little bit dizzy. I was pushing and I was pushing. I was forcing my spirit to break through a wall that he had put. Now I know that when God created us, he blocked us from seeing the things that happen in the spiritual realm for a reason. For there is a lot of evil that is waiting for you in the spiritual realm if you just cross over before your time. And if you go in there, those things are going to devour you. They are demons, they are principalities on the other side. It is something that most of you who have never crossed that wall and has gone on the other side of the wall, you can't even imagine how big the spiritual world is. So when I was doing this, I was so excited. I was like, this is what I need. I thought that I was becoming smarter and smarter, and everyone else was just a dumb human being who will never know what exists on the other side of the fence. So I kept on pushing, but I did not know that I was digging my own grave in the dark as a blind woman. It happened finally when my third eye opened up on the 14th night. I was deep And I was so excited that it was about to happen because I started to feel this vibration as the sun was sinking behind the mountains. I felt this vibration in my heart. As I was deep in meditation, that was when I felt like my head, it was going to explode. I felt this sudden pressure, and then I heard a sound inside of my skull like pop. I just heard that sound inside of my skull. Immediately, that was when the darkness in my lounge changed. It was not just dark anymore. It felt as if there were sound waves that were moving in the darkness. There was a wind that blew into my room, even though the windows were locked, the doors were locked, but this wind just came in and I could see the wind in waves in the darkness, but my forehead was burning. It was burning quite a lot. Wow, brother, when I opened my eyes, then that was when I saw an angelic being and I saw a golden bridge. And this angelic being, it started inviting me to cross that bridge. As I was walking, then the situation started to change. I saw some creatures that were lurking underneath the bridge that were following me. So I had heard on another podcast that it could be your ego, those creatures that you will be seeing in your dreams. They are you confronting your own ego, and those creatures, they started to chase me. Instead of leading me into the light, I realized that this angel had betrayed me. It left me in a barren place, like it was a barren land, which was so scary. The place here was so scary. I do not even know how to explain it. Like the things that were happening there, I could hear people that were screaming in pain as if they were being beaten over and over again. And when I would look, the darkness, it would envelop me and I could not do anything about it, even though I wanted to rescue the poor women that I would be hearing underneath that golden bridge that would be screaming in pain, saying that we are in pain, we are in pain. And then that was when I woke up. To my surprise, when I woke up the next morning, I thought that the things that had happened in the spiritual realm, they had only taken about a minute or so, because I ran back to the other side of the veil, this physical world, and I ran away from that angelic being that was leading me into a barren landscape. When I woke up, I realized that the sun had already come out. It was the next morning. So I realized that I was no longer feeling lonely anymore. I was feeling joyful. And then when I went into the bathroom to brush my teeth, that was when I saw him, that same angelic being in the mirror. He was standing behind me, but it was as if he wanted to harm me. This man, the angelic being, he was no longer that glorious angelic being that I had seen the previous night in that vision. And I ran away from the bathroom, but to my surprise, I found myself back in the bathroom again. And when I woke up, I realized that I was trying to drown myself in the bathtub. How I had opened up the water and removed my clothes and entered into the bathtub, I do not even know. That very same evening, that was the first time that I got scared to stay in my own apartment. I was sleeping around 7 p.m. That was when I just heard a sound in my bedroom. When I woke up, I did not see anything. I felt this fear that one cannot explain. I grabbed a blanket. As I was running out of the bedroom, I felt like there was someone that was chasing me. I ran straight into the garage, opened up the car, and I sat at the back seat of the car because I was even afraid to sit in front. I slept in my car. I drove out of the garage and I parked in a place where I could see everything. I was afraid to be in a room on my own. That is what I have been struggling with since that year when I opened my third eye. Guess what kind of a dream I had? I saw four demons that walked into my yard, and those demons, they came into my heart. As they were coming into my heart, I heard them saying, "Thank you for the invitation. It has been a long time since someone let us in through the front door." And then that was when I realized that when you open up your third eye, you open it up to any kind of spiritual force, topologies that have been waiting for many years, looking for a home. They will come and they will possess you. I was now possessed by a topology. By the end of 2020, to sleep, it was a struggle. It was a hassle. I started to sleep in the car. I started to see these topologies bringing their own friends. My house, it became so scary. I would see visions of topologies walking around in my apartment. The food, I would buy food when I would have bought maybe a 12.5 of millimil or a 5 kg, within 5 days, a 5 kg of millimil, it will be finished. For someone who did not eat like every day, how it could have gotten finished so quickly, I could not even understand. I started to ask myself, what is really going on here? What's going on? And then that was when I started to hear people that were talking in my room, people that would be talking in a language that I could not even understand. And they would be like, we are trying to help you to understand the things that are in the spiritual realm, but it seems as if you do not want to open up. The day when I said, let me confront my demons, your people just say that confront your demons. You do not want to confront your demons. I was in my bedroom. I had been listening to this other podcast of a woman who had been teaching people on YouTube to confront your own demons that haunt you. I saw them. I saw spirits that had been tormenting me. I ran out of my bedroom. Lucky enough, it was during the day. I then started to fight with my boyfriend for no reason at all. I finally moved out of that apartment because I was so scared. I started going to different pastors where I was prayed for. To this very day, I have not yet been fully delivered because I invited a lot of demons into my life. I do not want anyone to open up their spiritual eyes, their third eye, because once you open up your third eye, you are supposed to close it. Each and every time when you would have finished using it, there is a way that you close your third eye. If you leave it open, then you are going to be haunted by these demonic entities for the rest of your life. To this very day, my world, it is so messed up. Every day it is like a war. I have to fight for the little things in life that I used to take for granted. I am socially dead. My friends, they hate me. Everyone just hates me for no reason. There are times when I even called a witch by my enemies. They think that I am a witch, yet I am not a witch. Dear listeners, right there was a message that was sent to us by one of our dear sister. Have you ever tried to open up your third eye? If so, please tell us what happened when you tried to open up your third eye. Strange things indeed. They do happen in this world. Let us meet again in the following episode.